There is no greater joy than making something out of your hands, and it is all the more satisfying to own a handmade product, isn't it? Well, thanks to its eco-friendly and cost-effective features, handmade products have become the most favored amongst people, therefore leading to several exhibitions in the city that display an array of handmade products. Just like this one that I'm in, organized by 100 Hands, that has over 65 artists and NGOs displaying their best in handmade products. Let's go see what's in store. This is the 4th edition of the Handmade Collective, organized in the city by the 100 Hands. And believe us, if you love handmade products, or even if you're not too familiar with it, this is the place to be. Just about everything handmade is available here to buy for the public. And like for example, let me start with the first counter here. This granny square knitting cloth here, or a sort of a carpet made by volunteers, made by people, volunteers from several NGOs who design this and make this just for a living. So all this is displayed here. The quality is just so perfect, and it will last probably about 100 years. Moving on, several other stalls like this one that you can see. They have several Christmas decoratives, like you can see here. This bottle recycled, reused to make a beautiful Christmas decoration. Isn't it so pretty? I mean, these are so easy to make, but you just really need to have the patience, have the knack to really go about creating an art piece out of just anything. Like for example, out of a bottle, this Christmas decoration has been created. Now, several other art pieces, all made of hand, like for example these beautiful earrings, all hand woven with cotton threads, feathers. Don't they look so pretty? So making anything handmade gives so much joy indeed. Like for example, these Christmas decorations, all the more Christmas is just around the corner, and just so pretty, and you don't even feel so bad because they're all eco-friendly. Okay, remember, you're not really wasting too much, so that's all the more satisfying. The exhibition not just has handmade fabrics, but also handmade shoes, jutis. I mean, women would really go crazy here, believe me. Like for example, take a look at these very pretty mojdis. Kahan se hai bhaiya ye? Rajasthan. Okay, so beautiful Rajasthan mojdis, all hand worked, and like this one, a leather, hand worked leather mini laptop bags, wallets, all pure leather wallets. So these are all hand stitched, cut and embroidered with along with camel leather, and it's produced through elaborate process of salting, tanning, curing and whatnot. So this is 100% handmade. It really gives you quite a joy and satisfaction to buy one of that. And like you can see, several shops, several stalls set up right behind me, all giving the best of handmade cloths, fabrics, raw fabrics and hand painted fabrics, and a lot of carved pieces here, like you can see. For example, these tea lamps, tea lights, all beautifully carved, all handmade, 100% handmade. Let's ask the shop, the stall owner here. What is he? Can you describe and explain to us the products that you've displayed?
Actually, what we are doing over here is we are converting the traditional craft into usable products, so that it can be used into like day-to-day life.
Okay.
So over here, like this is the traditional art form called Pottachitra.
Okay.
So we have like taken it to different material. It is traditionally done on cloth. Wood, then we like put a coating of melamine so that like you can clean it and you can use it for a longer time.
These handmade jewelry boxes are stunning. Can you tell us something how it's really made?
Uh, Basically, it's a traditional box. It says we used some traditional motifs from the temple architecture itself, and we have designed it that way so that it looks good. It's aesthetic.
I also know that all these handmade products are made by people, I mean made by several various NGOs.
No, what we do is we're encouraging these young artists who we want to give employment and let them make them follow the craft which is traditionally missing right now. So we want to revive the craft and take it to a different level.
Now moving on to Kolkata, they have people like, remember there are artists from around the country. So this artist here or this vendor here has brought in some beautiful handmade products when it comes to home utensils. Like for example these platters here, if you can take a look. Very beautiful platters. These are cheese platters where you can cut cheese, and they're all made of sesame wood. And the finishing is just perfect. These are salad bowls. I mean, how amazing would it be to eat in something like this? A salad bowl made of sesame wood. And mind you, these are all natural colors. Like for example, these are salad forks, and these are all pure, this is made of igloo wood. All these forks here, salad forks. And what is amazing is these are all natural color of the wood. This is a natural color of the wood. It's not painted, it's not colored. It's absolutely natural, like you can see there. It's inside out, it's just the same brick color. So these products are made by about 400 ladies from an NGO in Kolkata. So also further giving them some employment. A great deal of hard work and artwork indeed. And for some decoratives in your house, these beautiful handmade pots could be just ideal. They're so colorful, and Christmas is coming closer, or New Year's, or just about any occasion. These pots just hung up there, all nicely hand painted in different colors, could look really pretty. Now moving on from art and craft, take a look at this work. Alright, so something like this made by this artist here takes about 4 years to make. Incredible work indeed, so intricate, so much detailing. We wonder how much concentration is really needed to do something like that. But these artists are so well versed, they do it for so many years that every single stroke of their needle and thread would come out with so much perfection. Like this is a subtle color. Let's move on to something else bright. Can you show us something bright, please? Like for example, if you can see right there, the maroon shawl there with gold embroidery. There's so much intricacy in that work. That's a beautiful shawl. And all this is pashmina shawl made very intricate. Every single design here, mind you, it's not digitally printed. It's all hand worked upon, and it takes about 4 years to about 10 years to make something like this. For example, this one. Let me ask the artist itself.
Like this shawl, it takes 1 year to be completed. If it is like this one, it takes 4 years. If it is this one, it takes 3 months.
Okay.
It depends on the workmanship. How much work we have to do, because there are 2 kinds of threads are used on to be for this embroidery. One is silk, and the other one is staple. That is cotton one. Yeah.
So but you use silk threads and cotton threads to make it. Can you tell us how much something like this, a shawl like this, how much would it really cost? Because you take about 2-3 years to make it. How much would it cost?
1,25,000.
My God, this is 1,25,000.
But it is nothing, because if
it is nothing?
It is nothing. If we charge the wages properly, then it is nothing. Yes, we have to eat only 1 time, not 2 times. Yeah, that is why it is so cheap. If we charge properly, then it goes beyond limit.
is it an asset? Can you resell it? Resell a
Yeah. If you have an old one, we can purchase it. You can resell it. That is no problem. You can, yeah, after a long time, because this trade is going, it is very little now. People are very little who are making these things. So if you have something,
you would buy a old pashmina shawl. My God, I did not know that pashmina shawls with embroidery like this has become an asset now. 1,20,000. Can you believe it? Well, I guess there are buyers because this man always has customers taking a beeline in front of his stall. Now moving on to hand knotted, handmade carpets. Okay, so that's something normally we see so many carpet vendors through the streets of Bengaluru or anywhere in the country, but it's never as perfect as something like this. If you can see here, all these carpets are completely handmade. Aren't they so beautiful? And believers, when you touch it, it's as soft as wool or really soft, as soft as feather. So this is completely handmade, and what is beautiful is that even reverse, it looks similar. Like all this is handmade, hand knotted. If you can see, at the front and at the back, it looks absolutely the same. And it's all hand knotted. I wonder how long this would take to make. Beautiful carpets that could adorn your house. You're making your interior stand out. And I love the colors of these. They're so subtle, and it's not really shocking, it doesn't really hurt or pierce your eye. It's really subtle and beautiful.
Ride with the Bullet Raja.
White bullet वहाँ पे निकले जो
Bilkul Ganesha bless Chaddi Dost.
ಹೆಂಗೈತೆ ಮೈಗೆ
ಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕು ಕಡ್ತಾ
Time to get frozen.
Stop the winter, please.
Don't you see? I can't.
Popcorn.
So it has to be.
All of us get so busy, engrossed in our gadgets and, all the time worried about getting connected that we really forget what can be done with our hands. And besides all the handcraft and artifacts and all of that, handmade artifacts, there's also something else that you can make with your own hands. A small garden maybe in your house that you can create with your own hands. And this is something that this exhibition also promotes. Beautiful pieces of pots you've kept here in an exhibition that promotes handmade products.
Yeah. So most of this stuff I do on my own. I specialize in something called container gardening, which is, if you can see, a combination of multiple plants in the same container. With spaces getting smaller and more limited, you need to increase the impact with each pot. So this is what I specialize in. If you can pan your cameras, you will actually see examples of container gardening. Okay. I also specialize in ferns, which I specialize in rare varieties of ferns, which is something that I've collected over a period of 14 years. Most of the stuff that you see here is from my private garden. Okay. It's extremely therapeutic. Working in your garden using your hands is extremely therapeutic. You must try it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to try it. Your flowers and plants here look so beautiful. And then again, moving to some more fabrics, hand-painted saris and dupattas and cloths and all of that has become so popular. People love the fact that something like this, hand-painted stuff is so intricate, and mind you, it apparently does not lose color after several washes. That's what the owner told me. So beautiful colors. When you hand-paint your saris, I think the look itself is very different. Can you tell us what's used to make these, paint these beautiful saris? What paint is it used, and does it wash off, run out?
No, not at all. This is hand-painted fabric,
and you can hand wash it. The only thing you need to keep in mind is iron on the reverse.
Iron on the reverse.
Yes, that's the only thing you need to keep in mind, and if you hand wash it, it lasts for quite a few years. It just needs good care, that's it.
Alright, okay. It needs some good care, and there you go, hand painted fabric. And one other stall that I think I love the most, is my favorite, is this particular stall here, where this man who wears a very smart cap, hat, makes some really beautiful art, pieces of art with his own hands, bare hands, like this here. Let's ask him what's it called. Umesh Prasad, can you tell us more about your artwork here? It looks quite interesting.
This is an art called repoussé. It's actually a French word. Otherwise locally known as metal embossing. Okay. And it's basically you work front and back. This is basically done with malleable metals. One of the metals that I've used here is aluminium, but copper is equally suited for this. Okay. And you work front and back. When you work from the front, it's called chasing, and when you work from the back, it's called embossing. Wow. Or repoussé. And you work front and back to get the effect, relief effect that you see here.
Okay, I mean it is really beautiful. From what I read, you've been doing this from your childhood. So
not really, for about 8 years now.
For about 8 years now. Okay, good. There you go. Something like the Beatles here. So interesting. Really would pop up the wall. Make any corner of your wall pop up. That's
very typically suited for music.
Suited for music, yeah, a bar room, right, absolutely. Beautiful pieces of art. That's one of my favorite stalls. Let's come on to some more embroidery. Patchwork, like you can see here, this patchwork. These patchworks are all made by an artist from Kolkata, and believe me, this work here, again, because it's handmade and so intricately done, from front and the back, it looks almost identical. You really won't know which is the front and which is the back. So that's how perfect it is, and it's so slim. It's not thick, It's very slim and very light to feel as well. So let's ask the artist here, क्या काम है ये, क्या work करते हो?
ये फेंस नॉट का हुआ, पारसी का और पारसी फेंस नॉट कश्मीरी काथा वर्क.
कैसे करते हो?
वो शूज का हैंड एम्ब्रॉयडरी बोल रहा है, हैंड एम्ब्रॉयडरी का शूज के लिए, और तुल के धागा सूता धागा के लिए मैं सिलाई करता हूँ.
They draw on the cloth, and then they go on to do some great embroidery with some beautiful color combinations. Another very interesting thing I saw is this stall here that has some beautiful handmade quilts. These are handmade bags, but the quilts here are the highlight. Very interesting for children indeed. But when asked the stall owner, he says it costs about 5,000 to 11,000 for a small and a big quilt. The reason, I think he knows best. Let's ask him what is really used in making these quilts. Why does it make it so expensive? Can you tell us?
Because this is an NGO product. So ladies take lots of time to make this quilt, or our quilts are so expensive because it's totally handmade. So we give them to fair wages. So it's so expensive. This is applique work. It's made stitching by sewing thread. It's applique work.
Alright. How long does it take to make one quilt?
So around a lady taker who is expert, it takes around 45 to 30 days, 30 to 45 days to make this quilt.
And then we're in this art gallery section of the exhibition, where a lot of handmade, hand painting artwork has been done here. Like for example, this Sanji paper cutting, paper art. You can see here. There you go. You can see my fingers through it. This is called Sanji art. There is no painting, there is no drawing, nothing. It's just plain cutting of paper. Like for example, take a look at that man doing it there. He just makes designs out of cutting paper. You need that much patience to do something like that. Absolutely, and freehand. There you go. This beautiful leaf there. So that's exactly how he makes something like this. So this is a great gifting option to your friend, like a beautiful memory, It's all hand cut to perfection. So something like this.
This is Madhubani painting, and it takes like sketching. This painting takes almost a day, and then perhaps 4 hours around to color it, to paint it.
Alright. What's the response that you get?
Not that good, but sometimes yes. It depends on person to person.
Art and beauty lies on the beholder, right? So this is how the Madhubani paintings, after finishing, this is how it ends up looking. You frame it and put it on your wall. Absolutely beautiful, because there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So it's just the sheer satisfaction to own a piece of Madhubani painting. It seems like applique work is gaining a lot of popularity among people, especially among children who love these, sort of wall hangings. Take a look at how beautifully this man, an artist from Odisha, has done something with a beautiful, cut work, patches of dolls pasted. This is exactly called applique work. And nice color combinations. This could be placed in nurseries or just about anywhere like this. These are all wall hangings, and this is called applique work, and so perfectly done. Handmade art and craft is so endearing. You really want to own a piece and place it at home, because you don't feel guilty that it's, not eco-friendly. Everything here is absolutely, biodegradable. Like, for example, this elephant dung products, quite a unique way to recycle that and make some great booklets, make paper. So basically all this paper is made out of elephant dung. Can you believe that? And there you go. It has an elephant on top of that as well. Like, for example, this Ludo pad as well, all made of elephant dung paper. There you go. This Ludo pad made of elephant dung. Very interesting, isn't it? These wall hangings. I like this one. I'm in a crappy situation. Okay, that's cuter. Poo not disturb. This is really interesting, and a lot of booklets too, made out of elephant dungs like this. Some greeting cards, some paper ornaments, and these are room fresheners. There you go, a little mini elephant there. Elephant's bum rather. So very, very interesting stuff, and even the toilet paper made out of elephant dung. So very, very eco-friendly, something that people, I think, should opt for. It's high time. Moving on to some jewelry. Okay, this stall is my most favorite. It has some really beautiful jewelry, all made out of hand and made by also a very beautiful artist, Chinanshu. Chinanshu, I love your stuff. They look so beautiful. Can you tell us how you make it? How much time goes into it?
It used to take a lot of time, but now it doesn't take a lot of time because I've been doing it for some time. The material that I use is silk and silk yarns, and I weave them with different techniques, in different styles. The first collection that I did was the monsoon collection, and then I moved on to this Mumbai collection that I've combined it with metal. Metal and this, and it was also featured on jaipur.com. Yeah, and rest you can check it out on my website, parisha.com. And then the latest collection is this cowbell collections, where I've used the bells and cow accessories in like different style. Yeah, like this one and this one.
Okay, that's the cowbell collection.
Yeah, that's the cowbell collection. It's called the Holy Cow.
Holy cow, I like that. I mean, how long do you take to make a piece like this, for example? It's all handmade. See how pretty they are. Like all handmade, hand knotted, right? How long does it take to make something like that?
It takes about a day.
So many people coming here to take a look and purchase some great handmade products like this stall here. A lot of nice handmade soaps, oils, and just about everything handmade. It's so surreal to use something that is, could it be biodegradable?
Biodegradable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of this is biodegradable. That's one of the reasons I choose to shop here is because of the sustainability, supporting local business. It's definitely why I spend my dollars here and not at a corporate chain.
That is smart. So we have lots of people coming in from different parts of the globe here to get some really, get their hands on some really interesting stuff. Ma'am, can you tell us about your products? It's all handmade.
It is handmade. A lot of it is organic. But more than anything else, we are supporting a livelihood and trying to discourage migration. All of this is from Kumaon in Uttarakhand. So basically we are trying to look at people not migrating back into the cities. So trying to keep them there and make products and trade them and send the money back to them.
All right, that's something very interesting. Thank you so much. So all these products also, signify a cause. Like she said, a lot of employment given to people. Okay, sustainable livelihood given to people in remote areas so that they don't migrate into cities. That's quite interesting. So moving on, there's a lot more jewelry also in store like this one. A lot made of brass, metal. Okay, these are all made of brass and metal. And all handmade, all hand knotted. This is really a treat for women in the city for sure. Take a look at these artifacts here, all animals and figurines made out of brass and metal, all just showpieces that you can place in any corner of your house, and this is so beautifully made. So all this is handmade, all of this is handmade. This here is another piece of art installation, an absolute wonder that beautifully made mosquito created by members of an NGO. Basically this is a dengue mosquito which is happily thriving thanks to our lack of hygiene and awareness in the city to dispose of garbage. Dengue mosquitoes are thriving, and this is just to signify that the mosquitoes have taken over the city, and beware of it. Take necessary precautions. Just to signify that, an NGO, students of an NGO have gone on to make this beautiful paper art piece that signifies a mosquito, a dengue mosquito. So indeed, not just some eco-friendly products, they're also creating awareness. Also NGOs trying to create some awareness through these art installations. In this day and age where almost everything is computerized and digitalized, a handmade collective exhibition like this definitely comes as a refreshing change, and it's all the more closer to your heart because it provides sustainable employment to all those members of the NGOs across the country. So if you are a lover of handmade products, this is the place to be. With camera person Santosh, this is Nabila for News 9.